On a bright snowy day in the little village of Mudsville, all seemed normal until... BANG! Lightning struck the ground and the little village was overcome with fear. As if by magic, ominous clouds had rolled in over the village, covering it in darkness, and leaving the poor little villagers with a sense of dread. On the dark cliffs north of Mudsville, there stood an evil witch. A witch so evil, she would set fire to your house for no reason other than she liked the vibrant colours of the flames. And as she put it, the nice whooshy sound. The inhabitants of the village stood on their doorsteps, shaking, looking fearfully at the dark skies in pure terror. Our two brave heroes of this tale were nowhere to be seen. As usual. "Your turn then, Dave," said Wheelassassin. "Oink!" squealed Dave. These two brave heroes weren't really acting like heroes should. You would have thought them to be battling a dragon or fighting a skeleton horde. But no. Instead they were playing Truffler, a game much like Hoopla. Ah, so close! Dave glared up at Wheelassassin as if to say, "Go on then, do it yourself if you're so clever." Dave could be a stroppy pig at times, but he was a truly courageous character and a vital part of our story. Plus, he smelled bacon, which is always good. As Wheelassassin was about to take his turn, there was an almighty knock, knock, knock on the door. "On our way," shouted Wheels. "Oink!" squealed Dave. They opened the door and to their surprise, no one was there. "A case of fine old knock-knock crafter if you ask me," said Wheelassassin. At this point, dear listeners, Wheelassassin's brain wandered off to remember the good old days of him and Dave knocking on villagers' doors and running away. Until the day Dave refused to leave his head teacher's front porch because he smelt truffles. Anyway, back to the story. Wheelassassin paused. He walked up to the edge of the forest and looked up above Mudsville. There, him and Dave saw the strange weather phenomenon happening right in front of their eyes. "Dave, get my sword, armour, your saddle, sandwiches, cakes, and my favourite pair of pants. It's hero time." Dave looked up at Wheels with a look that clearly said, "Do I look like I have 50 arms?" Somehow the heroes knew that this was the witch's doing. After all, they had fought many battles against the evil old woman. The heroes packed some food and essentials and they set off straight for Mudsville. As Wheels and Dave approached the cobbled steps leading up to Mudsville, they felt an evil presence lurking around them. "Dave, have you let one go again?" They climbed and clambered up the stairs and finally made their way to the top. There waiting, with worried looks, angry faces, and in some cases spoiled pants, were all the villagers. Each and every one of them were very, very unwelcoming to the pig and man who were apparently there to save their precious village. They grunted and shouted as the heroes passed. "Great, the heroes have arrived! Whoopity-doo!" one said sarcastically. "Come to save us, have ya?" another one spat. As they passed the butcher's, Dave got the feeling he was being eyed up for a bacon sandwich. "Prime cuts on that one," Mr. Gristle snarled. In what felt like forever, Dave and Will finally made it to Percy the priest. Percy was a wise man who was so old his wrinkles had formed a complete map of the local area. He cared deeply for the village people, and he would do anything he could to protect them, even if it meant bringing in the most stupid heroes imaginable. But Percy had hope. "Will, Dave, we need your help. Whether the people want to admit it or not, the witch has put a curse on the village and its weather, making it forever stormy and snowy. The children love it at the moment, building all these snowmen and singing 'Yellow snow, have a wee out your window,' but they don't know what we are suffering. Without the sun, the crops won't grow. Without the heat, the water freezes. The village will be hungry, cold and thirsty, and I fear the worst." Percy spoke softly. "Don't be panic pants, Percy. We can handle it. I know Dave and I haven't been the wisest, smartest, fastest." At this point, dear listeners, you might want to have a drink and a biscuit, as Wheels will spend at least 10 minutes listing all the things they're not. In summary, we haven't been great heroes, but we are ready to prove ourselves and save the village, Wheel proclaimed. Oink, oink, oinkity oink oink! This was Dave's way of saying, we will do it, but at the cost of 3 barns of carrots, old man. Wheel looked at Percy, trying not to sound rude. He just said he's up for a challenge. Percy tipped his head on his shoulder and he winked at Dave, almost as if he could understand every oink Dave spoke. The heroes were about to leave when... Oh, and one more thing, Percy remembered. I've prepared you some supplies for your quest. Good luck, kind heroes. Crossing the vast landscape of seed 678897867562, they passed through forests, over rivers, across hills, and eventually they found themselves at the bottom of the Witch's Mountain. Will and Dave pulled up their inventories and started to devise a plan. Right, if I climb the terrain here and flank the witch from the left, I should be able to distract her whilst you come round the right and grab her wand right out of those scary fingers. Let's do this, announced Wheelassassin. Dave oinked in agreement. The plan was executed to perfection until Dave was about to take the witch's wand.
You thought it would be that simple, did you fools?
Cackled the witch. Sadly for Wheels, Dave had let his nerves get the best of him and let a rather stinky one go. This gave the witch a nose up on them, sneaking towards her. Without a moment's hesitation, Dave was transformed into a chicken.
Cluck, cluck,
panicked Dave. Wheelassassin couldn't do anything to help. He was stuck in a trance he couldn't escape from. What are we going to do, Dave? We are as helpless as the villagers say we are. Suddenly, a loud noise bellowed its way through the forest and up onto the mountain.